Welcome to the Spirit of Nature YouTube channel. This is the second episode about managing different fish species in a beautiful private pond in Texas. In this episode, I discover yet another species of fish, and I'm able to document more information on why different fish species are under and overpopulated. Continue this adventure with me to help bring healthier numbers to a variety of fish in this beautiful Texas pond. Okay, welcome back, guys. After doing some research, after I spent some time here the other day in the first episode, I found out a few things. I talked to a couple experts, some local fishermen that have fished all their lives, some really old men, and got a lot of research and thought a lot about, what's going on here at this pond. And, I started out thinking that it was overpopulated with sunfish, and it still is. There's too many of them. You could tell. But I caught that bass, and that really changed everything. After doing the research and really digging to find out everything about them, I'm pretty sure that that was a female bass, and she was loaded with eggs. So I have a new goal. The new goal is to take as many sunfish out of here as I can, so her eggs, after she lays them, won't be eaten by all the sunfish. So that's how we're going to save this tank. Totally new goal, new quest, new everything. So what we're going to do is I'm still going to take measurements. I only got measurements on 3 of them the other day. And the frogs really started yapping. Well, anyways, we're going to catch some today. We're going to take them home and cook them. Green sunfish. We're going to take them home and cook them, eat them. And I'm still going to get measurements on at least 7 more. I have 3 right now, and we're going to get measurements on at least 7 more. So I'm going to try to catch as many as I can and measure all of them and put them on a stringer and keep them. It's around 2 p.m. There's not much activity on the top of the water, but you can always catch those sunfish pretty easily. Okay, we're going to try something a little different today. Got a little smaller hook with a head weight and a curly tail. If this don't catch a sunfish, nothing will. So let's try it out. If you got one. That's a crappie. Oh my gosh, there's crappie in here too. Look at that. Look at that. Third cast. And a crappie. So that's now 3 confirmed species in this pond. And I only thought there was sunfish. The average length of crappie is around 10 inches and have been known to grow to almost 20 inches. Look at that, a white crappie. Out of all that casting and fishing I've been doing, and I've yet to catch a crappie. And then I just caught this little guy. I'm going to cast in that same area to see if there's a school of them, and we'll get a measurement of him in just a minute. What do we got? Sunfish. Nice one. Right after that crappie. Let's get this crappie and the sunfish measured. Look at that crappie. And a sunfish. Man, they're so beautiful, ain't they? Look at that. Was not expecting to catch a crappie in here. Wasn't expecting that bass the other day either. Well, let's get these guys measured up. So, again, this changes everything about this pond. No telling what's in here at this point. There's probably catfish in here too. Okay, the other day, or in the first episode, we caught the bass. That was 22 3/4 inches. We caught 3 sunfish. I caught 4, but 1 got away. The sunfish were 6, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. Ooh, this guy might be 6 1/2. Yep. Our biggest sunfish yet, 6 1/2. And crappie, they're known to take over ponds very easily. Their mouths are really big, so they're able to eat more variety of prey, you know, such as little or game fish, you know, pretty much anything. So to find this crappie in here is really interesting. Let's give him a measure. Have to have a whole new section now. Let's do crappie section. He is, we'll call it from the very tip of his tail, 7 1/4 inches. Okay, let's get these guys back in the water. Okay, we're actually not putting the sunfish back because we're keeping them to depopulate them a little bit in this pond so we can, you know, make room for the bass. So we're keeping him. We're going to put him on a stringer, but we're going to release the crappie. And the crappie, we should probably take him out too because they overpopulate, but he's the only one I've caught after fishing this pond a million times, so probably not going to do that. We're going to turn him loose back in here. So let's go put him back in the water. One more good look at him. White crappie. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we're stringing up this sunfish. We're gonna go through the top of the gills. All the way down. Got him on the stringer. My stringer's a little big, but it'll work. Might be something there. Another sunfish, really small one. Sunfish number 5. Floppy little guy. He is only to the tail 5 1/2. We're not keeping this little guy. Ain't any meat on him. There's something. Another crappie. Crappie are biting today in here. Wow. Out of all that fishing I've been doing in here, and today I've caught 2 crappie. Very strange. Very strange. 7. No. Little under. We'll round it to 7. Close enough. Okay, this is our 9th sunfish to measure, and I just wanted to get a closer look on this coloring on the fins here. You see the orange tips? I've never seen that before. Almost want to keep him and put him in a fish tank. This is our 10th green sunfish to measure, and he's definitely the biggest. Look at that. 7 1/4. That's 10 green sunfish measured, 6 crappie, 1 bass. This is all kind of messy, our rough draft here. I'm gonna clean all this up and make a new one on a clear page. Okay guys, this is our 10th crappie. And something tells me it's gonna be one of the biggest. 7 1/4. Well, that's the same as the first one. Let's let this guy go. Our last crappie of the day. Okay guys, so far I've caught crappie, a bass, plenty of green sunfish. I started off thinking this was overpopulated with green sunfish, which it probably still is. All the green sunfish and the crappie I've been catching are all tiny, all of them. And so that shows me that there's too many in here. I mean, you could catch them with almost every cast. I've been catching them all day. We have a few on the stringer over there of sunfish we're going to take home and cook just to help thin them out of here a little bit. But from now on, for the rest of the evening, I'm going to try to catch some bass and see if there's any more bass in here besides that big one we caught in the first episode. So I'm going to put on maybe a topwater or a spoon or maybe just a big plastic worm and try out for some more bass. Okay, this is what we're going to use for the bass. Just a simple little hook, weight, and that plastic worm. That ought to get them in this pond. Okay guys, this is what we're going with now. Got a small shining spoon on there with about half of a plastic worm on a hook. I caught that bass the other day, like right here. Like right there. Not 5 feet away from the bank. Okay, so I've been trying for bass for the past 2 hours, maybe 2.5, and with 2 different lures, and so far nothing at all. It's getting pretty late in the evening, maybe 6:37. You can start seeing the tops of the water being hit, but that could be anything, you know, crappie, sunfish. I'm gonna take a break here and we're gonna do some little math on the fish we've caught and measured. Okay, so rounded to the nearest quarter, the average size sunfish in this pond is 6 inches, and the average size crappie is 6 3/4. And the only bass we've caught is 22 3/4 inches. So they are obviously not growing to their full potential, and there's way too many of them in here. So what the next quest and task is going to be is to go catch some bass and possibly some catfish, average size, maybe 3 to 5 pounds, and put them in this pond. That's the next quest. to help lower the population of crappie and sunfish. That's what it's going to take. I'm pretty packed up here, and I might do a couple more casts before I head out. Other than that, I'll see you on the next episode. Okay, off camera, I ended up catching a few more sunfish, probably 4 or 5 to take home for dinner. And they are gone. Turtles. I guarantee it. Turtles ate them all. Look, there's nothing left but one head. Wow. Wow. That means there's definitely some good sized turtles in here. I had 4 to 5 fish on this stringer. Some good ones too. Well, either way, we managed to take out a couple out of the populations, and they were bigger ones too, because I was only keeping the bigger ones. So, I guess we kind of helped a little. Fed the turtles anyways. Look at that. One head. Wow. Okay. After catching multiple crappie and sunfish and proving they are overpopulated and not growing to their full potential, it's time to head to public waters and catch some largemouth bass to bring back to this pond and bring down the numbers of other fish species and secure a future to the offspring of the 23-inch bass I caught in the first episode.